Hi, I'm Nick, and this is Allie. We're clinicians here at Complete Physical Therapy, and today we're going to give you a quick overview of computer desk ergonomics. We're looking to improve alignment, to reduce the stress of neck, shoulders, elbows, hips, low back. These are common things that we hear that people struggle with after spending long hours behind a desk computer. Um, there is no one perfect position. I would say the bigger problem is lack of mobility. Changing a position is really important. Not that we can't reduce some of the stress by getting optimal positioning, but honestly, setting a timer on your computer, your phone, and changing position, be it get up, walk around, do some light stretches every 30 to 45 minutes, that is really more ideal. Understandably, we get involved with our work and we're focusing on what we're doing, and time slips by us. Before you know it, it's several hours. So I have found that setting the timer really helps in this situation, and it forces you to get up and move around. I will tell you, it will honestly make you more productive taking some time to do little movements and activity. Nowadays, you'll see what they call those variable desks or standing desks. You know, people ask me all the time, would I be better off standing all day long? And I like the idea of the variable desk. I think there's times that sitting is good, standing is good too. It's actually that change that's probably the best. So I think that you can end up with some foot and ankle problems if you're standing all day long too. Um, so let's go over just some general rules in regards to a sitting ergonomic setup. I would tell you that in a standing situation, the alignment of our shoulders, wrists, hands, head, neck are going to be very similar. The only difference is your hips are extended and less likely to get tightness across our hip flexors because you're standing. So if we look at Allie from the side here, one of our very first goals are to make sure that her hips are high enough. And that's going to vary depending on how tall you are. We want to have our hips higher than our knees if possible. If we can get into this situation, we're much less likely to start to collapse and slump down. So you want to make sure that you're able to get a chair height high enough to allow that. Now, you may have something underneath your desk, a drawer, that you may have to remove so you can get your seat up into the correct height. You know, you want to make your work environment conform to you versus conforming your body to your work environment. That's where we end up seeing so many people with headache, shoulder, back, and neck pains because they're trying to conform their body. Um, if you're working with a laptop, it's nice if you can get a remote keyboard or a mouse that is remote, so you can not try to be typing up here or down. You know, once again, I don't want you to conform your body to fit the technology. Make the technology fit you. Once she has gotten her hip height correct, we also want to have some sort of support to the low back that does not allow her to collapse back. If this chair back is too far back, she'll find herself seeking it out and collapsing downward. So if we can, what we use a lot is just an inflated beach ball. But you can definitely find chairs that have some lumbar support that is adjustable. The depth of the chair makes a difference. So if we can get that depth to where it's more supportive, we're gonna do a lot better. From there, I want to think about, where do my elbows lie compared to my shoulders? You know, if we draw a line from the back of the ear to the shoulder to the elbow to the hip, we'd like to have a line fairly close there. So we need to have that mouse and that keyboard close enough that she's not constantly reaching forward, which is going to round her shoulders and bring her head forward. So we want that close enough that that elbow can gently rest underneath that shoulder when sitting up nice and tall. The other thing we'd like to have is we'd like to have maybe the wrist slightly lower than the elbow. It takes some of the tension off of there. When we look at a wrist, we want it in a very neutral position. We don't want it cocked back too far. We don't want it down too far. Either one of those are going to lead to wrist and elbow problems down the road when we're doing those things. So she's brought her keyboard close enough to her. We've got her mouse to her. Next thing, we talk about screen height. When you look at a screen, you would like the top of the screen close to her brow. If it is too low, she's going to slump down. If it's too high, she's going to hyperextend her neck up and back, looking up. She also wants it straight ahead. She doesn't want it off to one side and have to focus on twisting and turning constantly throughout the day. If you have split screens, try to get them as neutral as you possibly can so you're not having to turn one way too far. The next thing you want to think about is distance of the screen. What matters is that you're not having to compensate and lean forward to see that screen. Once again, all this hard work's gone down the pot if you're having to do that. So sometimes just having a pair of glasses specific to your computer screen, ones that don't make you have to lean forward or back in order to see clearly. So once again, we're concerned about screen height and distance away, and that's going to vary depending on your personal vision. From that standpoint, once again, you can take this and translate this to a standing desk, but once again, you would want the elbows and wrists in similar positions, and you want the screen to be similar in height and distance. As you can see, they make plenty of products that are adjustable in regards to adapting that screen to the height that you need. And you don't have to have a desktop computer. You can use a laptop computer. You just need to make sure you get the remote keyboard and remote mouse in order to optimize your postures. And that's a quick and easy way to try to set up your ergonomics for your computer workstation.